This is the Dog Savant Podcast with your host, Brett Endies.
Hello and welcome to the Dog Savant Podcast. My name is Brett Endies. I'm a professional dog trainer. The purpose of this podcast is to share my 25 years of dog training experience to hopefully help you if you are a dog owner who would like to understand your dog or train them or solve their behavior problems, a dog trainer who would like to understand a different perspective on dog training and behavior, or if you're a client and you'd like to supplement the work we're doing in the real world. This podcast is for you. As I always ask, and it's more important than ever, please don't forget to rate, review, share, subscribe. Let everyone know about this podcast if it's helped you. Let me know. Right now we're on some tough times. It's March 25th, 2020. We're going through the coronavirus pandemic. I can't even say it. It's so goddamn stressful. And we're all suffering. Me included. I can't see clients. I'm not making an income. I'm trying to do more online work. If you do have any dog training requirements and would like to work with me, I'm more than happy to set up a FaceTime, Zoom, or telephone, Skype type session with you. I've done it before and it really works great. I'm giving a discounted rate because everybody is most likely struggling right now. And I just want to keep doing what I do. I want to keep the connections. I think I'm going to do more podcasts. But, again, just let everyone know that's how I can get more people hearing this, giving me validation that this is helping them so I can just keep doing what I'm doing in any way I can. So with that said, I thought maybe I'd share you on where we're at. I had to just pick up and completely relocate here to Colorado for the time being. As you know, I have a home here. My daughter's here. A lot of my family's here, friends. But my business was in Los Angeles, and I was flying back and forth a couple times a month. It worked out great. Couldn't do that anymore. So now we're here in Colorado, up in Conifer, up the ranch, got a few acres, which is nice. I feel very fortunate. Somehow, some way, I ended up moving here about 2.5 months ago before all this started happening. I don't think buying a home or selling a home would be possible. Who would even want someone in their home? We have to keep the 6-foot social distancing in every state, including here, Colorado, is on lockdown. I hope everyone here is safe, whether you're someone I don't know or a client listening. If there's any way I can help you with your dog in whatever capacity I'm able to, please reach out to me. We all have anxiety now. We all don't know. This seems to be getting worse. I gave in my last podcast some strategies where you could get out there for your dog and yourself. We all need exercise. We need fresh air. But we've got to be very safe about it. I'm scared. Me, who's a little anxious to begin with and has some OCD tendencies, we're off the charts here. It's like when I get packages, I make them sit in the garage for 3 days till whatever fomites or whatever the hell they say is on these things or could transfer over on surfaces. I just want to be safe, and I hope you are too. I want to get back to normal or whatever could be a semblance of normal that we remember very short time ago was. So anyway, moving on, I didn't know what I would talk about today. I figured maybe I would just, we're hanging out with our dogs a lot. So, maybe we could spend some time as a distraction or a fun way to entertain our dogs, stimulate their minds, connect with them more, teaching them tricks. I'm not going to give specific tricks, but I'm going to give another little primer on lure and reward training, just how to shape a behavior. This is positive reinforcement stuff. Your dog really can't have too strong an agenda. They've got to be pretty receptive to your command and respect you and listen and not be all over the map, or it's going to be hard to tune them into training. And really, as a problem behavior specialist, not a trick training specialist, that's way more important of a thing to address. And I've done 70 plus podcasts on subjects related to whatever behavioral issue that you're dealing with. And again, if you have any questions, you can contact me and I can at least meet with you for the time being online if you'd like. So trick training, it really is at shaping a behavior. And if you just look up shaping behaviors, positive reinforcement, operant conditioning, just how to teach something, there's different ways to get to the end result, but it's basically conditioning an animal to take a cue and to end up at a desired result, and it's usually doing a trick, a command, or something. So, let's say, for example, we want to teach our dog to spin around. I had a dog, Fife. back a while. He's not around anymore, but he learned how to spin, and it's simple. I mean, a lot of people probably taught their dog this, and it's basically you hold a treat over their shoulder. So if you could picture me holding a treat right now over my left shoulder, and of course if it's high value and something they only get for training, which you should really reserve certain treats for that, they're going to look over. Good. And you tell them whatever. You want to say spin around. So spin. Good. And now you want to build a little more of that look, a little stronger look, a little bit of a twist. And basically, you get the idea. You're trying to move them round and around and lure them and chain together the response so that they get more of what the end goal is, which is to spin around completely and then get the treat. Do it in short sessions, right? You don't want to overload your dog. Certain training, like duration training, if your dog has anxiety and is flying all over the house, they have to lay in their bed for a matter of hours. They have to stay focused next to you on a walk with a loose leash. But for this, you just do a few minutes, especially if it's a young dog. But you can do a couple times a day. Do it frequently if you want to teach it, make it proficient. And then you want to proof it. So you want to do it with distractions because your dog might only listen when it's quiet and it's you and them. And you might not have that many people around, but whoever you can find, whoever's in your environment, isolated with you right now, because you want to add things around the dog so they don't get thrown off course if you want this to apply in real life. So once again, it's really just shaping a behavior. You want to lure them into a desired position and reward them when they hit the mark associated with a cue. Some people do clicker training. I like to just use a word. It's easy for us because we know. I say spin, I know what I'm expecting. Now, for something like spin, just to give one little specific thing, sometimes you have to reteach it going the other way, right? Not as much, but it's like lefty righty thing. So they're going to usually go with the one that they're most comfortable turning towards, left or right side, to spin around. But eventually, it could be either way. You just got to take some time to teach it. You just kind of lure them in the direction you want. And then you don't have to use a treat every time. You can verbally praise them. You just give them a cue, maybe with your finger. And do that to bring them to a position. When I do place training, that's what lure and reward training is. I tell them place. I lure them to a spot increasingly from further position, spaces. And then I have them lay down once they're there and hold the position. And I reward that as that builds time, duration, distance, and applies in real life. That's dog training. That's why the purely positive, which we're not in the time to be picking on each other right now, but I've always given flack for that because it's no magic. It's nothing special. It's just you're not addressing the relationship. You're not addressing consequences, and you're not putting it more on the dog and expecting more of a potential, or addressing the sensory, which is a lot of dogs get overstimulated by everyday life and social situations, and that causes anxiety and overreactions, and they just can't handle it, and they melt down, and that's what reactions are on leashes. Reactivity to guests at the house, separation anxiety from being too hypervigilant when owners are coming and going around. It all falls into the same place, but nonetheless, for trick training, it's a little different, mindset. You want to have fun, you want to keep it upbeat, but your dog has to have some well-balanced behaviors and, good manners, obedient. Good enough? All right, let's see, anything else. Oh, yeah, I was going to talk about what's going on here. So I'm in Colorado. So we're just getting prepped out. I've always been a little bit in that mindset. Kate, my girlfriend, she's always been into the outdoors. So when we knew about 2-3 weeks ago, things were getting kind of, it would have been a little like, we caused a scene. We had loaded carts, which everyone has now. We stocked up. We got everything from stuff to keep in the freezer, dry goods, everything. Anyone who's been seeing on Instagram, we've got some chickens we're raising, which is awesome. I'll do a whole podcast on chickens soon anyway, make more videos with these. I love raising these little guys. They're cute, and they're going to give us eggs and maybe meat if we get too many roosters. It's hard. I'm saying it that way because I've already raised them since little babies for like 2-3 weeks now, and I don't know if I could eat something that I raised. I don't know. Anyway, our greenhouse, we fortunately have this giant sunroom that was built off of the house that we weren't using, or I was using as just like an archery range, and it is perfect, and we need it because we're up here in the mountains in Conifer, Colorado at 9,000 feet, so we've still got snow on the ground at the end of March, and it still could blizzard 2 months from now. It's well insulated, and we're doing an aquaponics rainbow trout system. We're going to grow some organic vegetables and fruit. We've already got so many different breeds and strains of vegetables growing. It's unbelievable. It's so fun and it's rewarding and it's going to give us the security because this isn't cool. I don't like seeing that they're making people wait. That's even why one of the reasons I got out of Los Angeles. A, I can't work and see clients, but most importantly, that's a very high concentrated city. It's very populated and things like resources run out. You're in closer proximity to people. So I have the place here in Colorado and this is where I'm going to be now. And I don't even know. I got to see what my next move is going to be. I might have to do only virtual training for my Los Angeles clients and try to do some just boarding and training where I'm not in physical one-on-one contact. And that's what I'm, basically we're setting up a new website here in Colorado, offering boarding, training, and services like that. Just to be able to do that. So, but we've got the everything set up here. When it gets a little warm out, we're going to work on the outdoors. We're going to create some more pens. We already have a chicken coop. That was our main motivation. The house, when we bought it a few months ago, came with a chicken coop. So we've got them in the kitchen now with the lights. You've got 2 sets. You've got 5 that we got about 3 weeks ago or 2.5 weeks ago. And then we've got 3 more little guys that are in a smaller bin. It's cool. They're a little messy, but they're fun and they're entertaining and relaxing to watch. And we need anything these days that's going to relax us. I mean, that's even why I want you to do more place training with your dog if they're going antsy because you can't take them to the dog park or daycare and things like that anymore. Let them chill and do your walks at structured intervals and make sure they get the steps in. I've seen a lot of funny memes about people, how the dogs are like, oh, another friggin' walk, because they've had it. The dogs, the people, because we have to get out, we have to move. It's like, in prison, they give them like a half-hour yard time and they just walk back and forth in a cage outside. But after they get those steps in, it's time for them to chill. And really, it's not just a physical thing. A dog laying in place, anticipating and not being able to stay still, trying to get off all the time, is not what place training is all about. It's about keeping a calm mind, mental state. They teach us to meditate. I always try to be as forthcoming as possible. My own therapist, I did a FaceTime session with her yesterday just to talk about what's going on in my own, personal issues of anxiety. And, one of the things was, hey, Brett, are you meditating? I can hear you're taking care of all the logistics, but is your mind learning to slow down while you're taking care of the physical, practical things? And for dogs, it's easy for them. They just lay there. You teach them. Have them in their kennel a little more. As long as they exercise and move, and you have to make sure you do that, it's not a big deal. And they can be with you, but they got to relax if your dog has a potential. Now, if your dog just lays around with no agenda, leave him be. Let him enjoy the time, shared with you. But place training is good for a dog to be calm, or if they're picking up on our anxieties and they're feeding into it. A lot of people are getting messages and calls with my dog is, I don't know if it's because I'm home or we're not getting out or my dog just senses my anxiety. Maybe a little bit of all. Your dog has to learn how to not feed into it because their needs are still getting provided for. So that's my little bit on place training, which I've talked about so many times over. It's such an essential foundation and a great direction for dogs, and they don't know what to do in certain real life situations. Let's see, anything else? Oh, I'm also working on an online course. On video, well, hopefully one day we can get together, but we're at least making the storyboard for the videos that we're going to have modules. It's from the Push Archery people, and they do great teaching, great teaching platforms, I guess you'd call them, online, where it'll be a nominal fee, either monthly or annually, and you'll get all the information A to Z that I teach my real world clients because I want to be able to do more virtual work. Who knows, this may be the way it's going to be for some time, and I've got to adjust. And I still want to be able to help you as a dog owner, and quite frankly, I got to make a living. And with that said, again, please don't forget to share, rate, review. If you need training, contact me. I'd love to do a FaceTime or some kind of online or telephone session with you. I do them all the time. It would keep me going here in the meantime till I can get back to seeing my real world clients and their dogs. If you are those people, I miss you. I wish we could be doing our groups more than anything, probably more than you'll ever know. But if you need help in the meantime, reach out to me. I'm happy to, any way I can, again, be of assistance. Stay safe, everybody. Be respectful of what's going on. We don't want this to get worse. Not like I'm an expert, but I'm just as anxious as you are, and I want to get back to our normalcy. All right, guys, have a great day.